Welcome back to the Pig Trail Show. As always, we've got Otis Kirk here for our Arkansas football recruiting report, and we're joined by a very special guest as well, Greenwood High School class of 2026 offensive lineman Cody Taylor. Before we get to the good stuff, conversation with Cody, Otis, decommitment news for the Razorbacks yesterday.
Yeah, Pine Bluff wide receiver Courtney Crutchfield, who had committed earlier, decommitted from Arkansas yesterday. I look for Missouri to land him. Arkansas may continue to recruit him. I would assume so, but I think Missouri's probably got the inside track there. He's got a teammate that's going there, running back from the school. But yeah, it was something I've been expecting for about 2 or 3 weeks now, and it finally came out yesterday, right at kickoff. So I don't know about the timing, but whatever. But anyway, good luck to him, and I'm sure he may rethink it, but we'll see. But if you ask me right now, I'd say probably Missouri's in the lead.
Yeah, it seemed like a couple places seem to be or have Missouri in the lead for him. Always tough to lose an in-state kid, but speaking of an in-state kid, let's get to the good stuff and talk to Cody. Cody, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us. And we were talking a little bit before we got started. 10-0 for you guys this year, conference champs. Hard to do much better than that.
It was awesome. Like when I first moved here, we didn't have that many wins. It was being able to be with the team and add up the wins. It's awesome.
Yeah, awesome is right. And we also talked, you're up to 61 straight home victories. Talk about what it's like to play at home and get the job done there. Again, I don't know how you can do any better than that.
See, playing at home is always a different environment. The atmosphere is crazy, and it's so loud. You can't hear anything, and every time you score a touchdown, the lights start flickering, and you get fireworks. I love playing at home. And 61 games won at home is crazy.
Yeah, and we were talking as well. Fair share of offers coming in for you. Talk us through the recruiting process, how that's been going, and starting to get a whole lot of attention.
Yes, sir. I'm getting a lot of attention recently from FSU and K-State. See, they've been showing me a lot of love, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and obviously Arkansas fans, when they hear Greenwood, they think Kane Archer. What's it like protecting a guy like that, a quarterback as dynamic as that?
I'm truly blessed to be with a quarterback that good. He's so talented, and we have so many good receivers as well. So it just makes Kane even better than how he is.
Yeah, Otis, I'll toss it over to you. I know you got a couple questions.
Yeah, I was there Friday night when you guys beat Little Rock Christian, obviously, and Kane passed I had him with 285 yards, 4 touchdowns, 105 yards rushing, and 3 touchdowns. He did throw a pick 6, but I think he atoned for that a few times over. But anyway, he can't get that done without you blocking. He was not just you, but the offensive line. Just talk about, because I know Kane gets the attention, and he should, but you guys protect him really well. I was impressed with the protection he had. Talk about the offensive line as a unit. I know you're probably the leader of it, but just talk about the offensive line as a unit.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm probably not the leader of it. Ryan Short is the senior right now. He's the center. Yeah. He took me under his wing when I first moved here, and right. I respect him so much. We have Ryan Shortis at center. Christian Fleming, he's about 6'4", left tackle. Brett Woolsey, he's about 6'1", at right guard, and Ashton Stein at right tackle, he's about 6'4". And the whole O-line as a unit, we struggled a little bit during the beginning of the season, but then as the season went on, we realized we had to step up our aggressiveness. And having Austin Morton as our offensive line coach, yeah. He's the best offensive line coach in the state of Arkansas. And I'm blessed to have a coach like that.
He was a good offensive lineman too. I heard a few stories Austin over there when he was so I was like, and I misspoke on that. I didn't mean you were. I did say you were the leader. What I meant was you're the biggest, you're the most well-known name in that group is what I'm sorry. I didn't mean you were, I didn't want to put you in the spot and say you were the leader, because that's what I said, but I meant you're the best known name on the group, but you're certainly not the only one that's very good lineman.
Yes, sir.
But just, Coach Young, he just, it just seems like, he just continues to, put out good product. What about Coach Young?
He's such a good head coach. Like, if you compare him to other head coaches around the state, he's way different. The way he treats his players, the way he gets close with his players, and he trains us really hard. He pushes us so hard off season, fast dogs during the whole summer, and just we're playing football the whole entire year until we graduate senior year.
I know you've been to a lot of recruiting trips, and I do know you've been at camp at Arkansas 2 or 3 times. I mean, I've interviewed you every time you've been up here. Just talk about the Coach Kennedy, Coach Pittman, your thoughts about them too.
Having Coach Pittman as a head coach and the way he also treats his players it's amazing. Knowing he was also an offensive line coach, and having Cody Kennedy and seeing their bond, and it just translate down to the players, it's awesome.
Did you feel like you learned a lot when you went to that camp?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like I'm loved there. A lot of people show a lot of love.
Yeah.
They show everybody love.
And just the recruiting visits, whether it's Arkansas or whether you go out to Kansas State or you go to one of the Ole Miss, wherever, what are you looking? What does Cody Taylor look for when he goes to these schools to watch a game? And let's talk about to watch a game. What do you look for, or just take an unofficial visit? What are you looking for?
I really look for the environment, and I like to see how everybody treats each other. I like to see how they treat me when I first walk in, and I like to see how the coaches really hook on to me and start talking to me. I like to see how the O-line is as a unit when I'm watching them practice before the games, and that's pretty much it.
You know, I wrote the other day about all the success that some of the Warren, when the tight end, Coach Pittman mentioned the tight end here might get a scholarship from Warren. I mentioned a lot of players from Warren who had success at Arkansas, but you can take that to Greenwood as well with Tyler Wilson, Drew Morgan, Grant Morgan, Lucas Miller. And I know I'm leaving out some. Tatum Owen, who played softball with me. A lot of success from Greenwood as well. So I guess Hogs are pretty popular in Greenwood, aren't they?
Yes, sir. Everybody loves the Hogs.
Yeah, I mean I just know that I talked about Warren, but I mean Greenwood's had a lot of success. Kids have had success up here too. Just for someone that hasn't seen you play or hasn't seen you at a camp or whatever, or seen tape, what do you do well, man? And I'm not asking you to brag on yourself because everybody's got strengths, everybody's got weakness. What do you do well, and what do you feel like you need to work on the most?
I do very well at pass blocking, but one thing I can probably work on is one-on-one going against a guy on run blocking.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, you're probably going to be a guard in college, aren't you? Don't you think?
Probably
Interior.
a guard or a center. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I got to work.
interior.
Yes, sir. I got to work on getting bigger on the off season and working on my speed.
Okay. Well, that helps you on the one-on-one being a guard or a center. I mean, you're not out there on an island with a defensive end, you know. But you still got pass blocking duties, run blocking duties, but it's easier than tackle. What does Greenwood, and I asked Kane this Friday night, I'll ask you today, what do you guys have to do to win a state championship this year?
We just have to work as a team. We have theme every Thursday night, and the thing the team talked about was friendship. We really got to have good friendship and good leadership on the team. And it's all about brotherhood for us in Greenwood. It's all about brotherhood, and it's not about one player. It's about everybody. Yeah. And that's what I really work on myself. I don't like to look at my offers. I don't like to look at everything about me. I like to put everything on the team, everybody together.
It shows.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, sir. You're good.
I was just going to say it shows with the way you guys play as a unit. I mean, everybody congratulates everybody. Nobody's separating themselves from the field of the other players on the field. I noticed that Friday night. They were just as happy to congratulate Carnes as they are, the Kane or somebody. So it's all big gun. You guys do have some great receivers. I will say that, man. It's not like Kane doesn't have someone to throw to, man. You got Eric. I mean, I'm not going to name because I'd leave somebody out, but there's some great receivers down there at Greenwood. I mean, very good ones. And I was, but
The defense too.
oh yeah, yeah. I believe you guys picked off 3 Walker White passes, if I'm not mistaken. And Walker had a good game.
Yes, sir.
I believe he got 3 interceptions, if I'm not mistaken. But he had a very good game. It just that they came up short. But I think Greenwood a little bit better team overall. But Walker certainly played well himself. I didn't mean to leave him out of it because
Yes, sir.
you can see why Auburn and Arkansas and half the country's offered Walker White. He's a very good quarterback, man. He's a big kid. He's a big kid. And he's a nice kid.
He's awesome. He's a super good guy. Yep.
Yeah, one thing I noticed Friday night after the game, of course, Kane's out there talking to everybody, and you guys I'm talking to you and Chris, your dad, but but Walker was out there taking questions and stuff. He wasn't pouting. He wasn't running away because they lost, mad or anything. And that shows a lot of class on his part too. It's easy to be that way when you win, but when you lose, and I know you guys will be the same way. Hopefully you don't lose and you have to prove that, but I know
sir.
you guys got a classy program too. I know it starts at the top with Coach Young. I mean, he's a very nice guy. Every time I go down there, he makes me feel very welcome and always emphasizes, come back. You're welcome anytime you want to come back. So, and that's appreciated by me because there's been times where it wasn't always that way with coaches. They didn't understand recruiting and they were like it was some foreign deal or something. It's all about getting you guys scholarships and helping y'all. It's not about me and not about Coach Young or anybody.
Right. I made sure I made my way down to him after the game and shook his hand and told him he had a really good game.
Yeah. That's about what I've got, Jacob.
Okay. Yeah. Switching back over, I think it's interesting hearing you talk about the camaraderie your team has, right, and focusing on friendship as you move forward. Because, again, before we hopped on, you were talking about how you saw a difference in the Arkansas team after that Florida win in terms of everybody being connected and excited in the locker room. What did you see from the Hogs getting it done in Gainesville for the first time?
Whenever I saw them on defense and offense, they were hyping each other up. They were getting excited after they got them sacks on the Gators quarterback, and I actually got to see them after the game in the locker room. I saw them in the locker room, and they were so hyped up, and it was a really big win for them, and I'm proud of their success.
Yeah, and Otis asked a little bit, obviously, about Coach Kennedy and Coach Pittman, but I wanted to ask specifically, obviously, it's a bit unique with Coach Pittman's background as an offensive line coach, being a head coach. Is that something you look at in recruiting? How does that kind of come across to you as you're kind of looking at options?
I mean, Arkansas, it was a really big surprise for me because I didn't know when I first moved here. I didn't know much about the Hogs. I didn't watch much college football. But once I started getting recruited, I found out Coach Pittman used to be an offensive line coach. It actually opened my eyes and opened up a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, and you've talked about that move a lot. What was that process like, moving to the area, kind of getting acquainted with a new situation and trying to find your way through that?
It was awesome. I had Kane Archer's dad actually help me down here. Kane Archer's the quarterback. And everybody just wrapped their arm around me and they were all excited. I moved down here, and they treat me like I'm their brother, and I love it.
Yeah, Otis talked about, again, it's kind of that selfless atmosphere with you guys. Did that hit you right away the first time you kind of encountered the guys? What was that like?
Yes, sir. When I first moved here, it was like it's already in stone. Everybody was it's always been like that.
Individually for you, as you kind of look ahead here down the stretch, obviously 10-0 like we talked about. Obviously it's about the team, but what are you focused on moving forward for these next few important games?
You know what it is. It's winning. It's winning that championship. We got to win that. And I hope we see Little Christian in the state championship again.
Yeah, and kind of wrapping up here, I thought it was interesting you talking about focusing on the environment when you go on these recruiting trips. What do you is important relationship-wise with these coaches when you're kind of seeing if it's going to be a good fit? What stands out to you in a recruiting pitch or whatever it might be when you make these visits to know that maybe, hey, this might be a good fit moving forward?
Communication and culture. It's when I went to K-State, the culture was crazy. And the same thing with Arkansas. When I went to Arkansas, the BYU game, when I went with Kane and all them, the culture was amazing. Seeing the student section and how loud they were, and doing the Woo Pig Suey. That's actually my first college game I ever went to. So it was that's pretty much what I look for.
Hey, Arkansas fans will be real happy to hear that they made an impact with that. Otis, you got anything else?
I got one more real quick one. Cody, I'm sorry I didn't ask this earlier. I meant to, I forgot. Hey, what would an offer to Arkansas mean to you?
It would mean a lot to me, actually. It was the first school to show me interest, and part of it was because of you, Otis. You being able to let them know, let me get on their radar, and it would mean a lot to me because it's important. The first school to show a lot of interest in me, and the first school to offer me and a scholarship. I'm not saying I don't have any other offers. I'm just saying like they were the first to show me interest. It would mean a lot to me.
Well, I hope and pray you get it, man. I really do, because you deserve it. And so I'm not trying to pressure Arkansas by saying that. That's my feeling, not trying to influence anybody. I'm just saying, yeah, I've seen you play. I've dealt with you off the field. When I got out of the hospital, you reached out to me, and it means a lot. Stuff like that means a lot to a person, and you deserve it. And I'll be hoping and praying you get that offer, and if that's what you want, and everything, and we'll see how it works out. But I think everything will work out great for you regardless, because you're a very good player. Very good player.
Thank you so much, Otis.
Well, thank you for doing this, man. I really appreciate it, Cody. And you, like I said, I hope you guys have a great state tournament run. I'm not supposed to be rooting for anybody, but obviously I hope you guys do well and the best team wins.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right. Well, that'll do it for this week's Arkansas football recruiting report. A big thank you to Cody for joining us this week. Much more Pig Trail Nation show to come after the break. Stay with us.